So as we can't all go out into the outdoors and wild camp at the moment, I thought it might be a great idea to look at some of the things we can make while we're waiting. I want to show you some things today that you can make with this foil insulation. Now, it's just basically some bubble wrap that's got foil on either side. I found this roll in the garage, and luckily there was this offcut lying next to it, which means I can show you the things I want to today without cutting into that big roll and sending my husband mental. And the first thing I want to show you involves my Nalgene water bottle. I honestly don't know how I would have managed on some of my camps without this as a hot water bottle. It's just the most comforting thing, and I am quite a cold sleeper, and it just makes the difference really between me having an enjoyable night and just bailing halfway through. Okay, so I've just boiled up the water and poured it into my Nalgene pot, and this is going to be my hot water bottle. So let's pop the top on. Here we go. What more could you ask for? So in that last video I've just shown you, you'll notice that I used my woolly hat just to put a layer between me and really the heat coming through the bottle, and also really to try and hold the heat in the bottle a bit longer. With the hat, it would last a maximum of 2 hours, and then I could either sleep through, or usually I would wake up and heat the water up again, and off we go. So what I made for my bottle was this little cozy. It was really simple. You can see how I did it. I just cut a square of the insulation, left a gap at the bottom so I could fold it in, rolled the bottle round, obviously cut this off, sealed it up along there, and then at the bottom it's just a question of pushing all this in, quite simple, and sealing it down. And then, just to make it a bit stronger at the top, I just put a layer of tape around the top there. So now, before I pour the hot water into my Nalgene bottle, I just put it into my cozy. It has to be quite firm because then it retains the heat better, I've found. That's how it is. And the Nalgene bottle is really good and leak proof, and this lasts, the heat in this lasts up to 5 hours. I was over the moon, absolutely over the moon. Because this is my biggest luxury, I think, on a camp. Got to have a hot water bottle. So then, taking a look at this offcut that I found, and roll it, I realised that this little bit at the end here could be a perfect sit mat. Now I have already got a sit mat, and I thought, popped it on top, probably that way, and it's the perfect size. So it's just a question of cutting it off here. You can obviously make it any size you like, but that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Weighs nothing. So we're still going strong with the amount of offcut we have left. So another thing you can make is an extra layer of insulation to put inside your boots. Sorry about the state of these. But the idea is that you want to take the insoles out of your boots. So then it's just a question of placing your insole face down onto the foil and drawing around it. There we go. Oops. There we are. There we are. And then cutting it out. It's really easy to cut. So I think there's different ideas about where you actually place this in your shoe, whether you put it underneath the insole or on top, but I'm definitely going to put it underneath the insole because I don't fancy my sock being in contact with this. And I mean, this foil is not going to produce its own heat, it's just basically going to reflect heat back, so I don't really see it would make a lot of difference. But anyway, this is what I'm going to do. So you get your shoe back, wiggle that in there, and then get your insole, and put that on top. There we go. So look, we've still got some of our offcut left. I'm really getting into this. See how many things I can make with this little strip I've got left. I decided next to make like a cover for when I'm making my meals when I'm out at camp. So if I've got something in a pouch and I poured some hot water in, I thought it'd be nice to have an extra layer of insulation to keep it warm whilst it's sort of doing its thing. I just pulled this out of the cupboard because it's pretty much the size of the things I would take with me. And it's just a question really of making a little pouch that it would slide into. Could make a little cover at the top to fold over or not, and obviously sealing up the sides. So I haven't used this yet, so I'll try this when I'm doing one of my garden camps next week and see if it keeps the meal warmer for longer. So the final thing I'm going to make, but this will involve this large roll if I can get away with it, is I'm going to make an extra layer to put underneath my sleeping pad, just to have an extra layer of foil insulation underneath it. Obviously I won't need all of this, but when I looked online at the size of the foam mats generally, they tend to be around 180 centimetres by 50, so that would be fine for me. But obviously again, you can do it whatever size you like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the ground sheet of my tent, and then I'm going to put my mat on top and then my sleeping bag. So there you go, there are just 5 things you can really easily make just to add a bit more comfort to all your camping, hiking and backpacking trips.